here with Olympic trials champion, U.S. marathoner Meb Keflezighi. Meb's going to answer some of your fan questions. I had a lot of great responses from fans who wanted to pick Meb's brain a little bit and ask him about running and ask him some other things. So Meb, I'm going to give you some questions from your fans. We're going to start out with Jimmy from High Point, North Carolina, who wants to know what types of strategies you use to make sure you recover from such long distance running, and he also wanted to know a little bit about your strength training routine.
Well, recovery is important because I do demand a lot out of my body. I like to use Generation UCAN after my hard days, whether it's doing intervals, tempos, or long runs. It'll allow me to recover until I get home and have a real meal. But in terms of strength conditioning, you want to use your body weight. Whether it's to do planks, to do sit-ups and push-ups, and a little bit of more plyometrics also is good to be able to help you with your strength and your mechanics.
All right, now we've got Deb from Tucson, Arizona. Deb wants to know, if you weren't a runner, what professional sport would you want to play?
Deb, that's a great question. Two things. One would have been probably a soccer player. That was my passion as a kid growing up. I always thought I'd be a soccer player, but if I had the choice of any sport, what would I be? I think basketball player.
Basketball
but
player.
I need about 3 more people.
You got a favorite basketball player that you like to follow?
I like Kobe.
Kobe's
a good guy, and I've got a chance to meet him, and just in LA when I was at UCLA, and just to meet and be able to interact with them. And I was from Italy. I lived in Italy, and his background was spoke very Italian, and kind of bonded. But no, he's an amazing player.
All right, now we got Joel in Princeton, New Jersey. Joel said, thanks for signing an autograph at the New York City Marathon for my friend who's just about to undergo knee surgery. His friend who you signed an autograph for, she's a lot better now, and she said she's getting ready to run again. So we wanted to thank you for that. And he also wanted to ask you, well, what are some of the most important supportive activities, like whether it's the core work or taking ice baths after a hard workout? What are some other activities other than running you like to incorporate into your training?
Well, Joe, I'm happy to sign that autograph for your friend and speedy recovery, and I'm glad to hear that she recovered and running. In terms of things that I do outside of running, it's core exercise, stretching maybe 3 to 4 times a day before a run, after a run, definitely after the run, and then after the run on the second evening. So also massage. Sometimes I go to a person, sometimes I have my own tools that I use at home. But there's a foam roller. I'm always doing something, whether I have a softball and trying to get my glutes to massage, or the IT band, and just maybe even watching TV, icing the tendons or things like that. So my wife and I talk sometimes that it's a job that I have 24 hours. It's not like you go to 9 to 5 or something, then you go home and you forget about it. Unfortunately, that's not the kind of business that I'm in. Even my rest is my work.
All right, Meb, just a couple more for you. Kim in LA, she wants to know what's going through your mind when you're on long training runs, and what's going through your mind when you're in a race.
Well, in LA, Kim, you have to be very careful when you run in a long run in LA, because I've been there before where you have to watch out for the drivers and the traffic lights, because if you get in the zone, you might miss that red light, and which I have done before. But it goes through a lot to your mind, whether it's family, friends, or what phone calls you have to make the next day or that day, or just planning your day out quite a bit. But just it changes every minute. At the same time, think about visualization of your training and what your race is going to be, because when you think the last mile on your run, think of that being the last mile of a marathon that you're going to run. So how do you want to have on with the mechanics or the breathing or your posture and things like that. So do those in training, so when it comes to a race day, it's all natural. You've been there, done that.
Great, Meb. Last one. This one comes from Philip in St. James, New York. Philip's actually training for a 100-mile event right now, and he wanted to know how often you suggest incorporating UCAN into your plan, and maybe a little bit different for you training for the distance you do and for the distance Philip is, but there may be some similarities as well.
Philip, 100 miles. you need to use Generation UCAN twice a day or something. I mean, he demanded a lot of your body. Just be smart about it and be able to. I mean, I would use it probably every day or have it to a pack or so between meals even to just give you a sustained energy. But I use it 4 to 5 times a week, so you're going twice the distance, so you need to use it double. Double it, but I mean, just experiment with it and see what works, and then if it works for you really well, just modify it and see how it goes for you. But 100 miles, that's tough, and more power to you.
Yeah, would you think you could ever run a 100-mile race, Meb, or is that 26.2 good enough for you?
26.2 is good enough. I think maybe a 50K is something that we kind of been chatting about with Coach Larson, but other than that, I think 42 kilometers is plenty.
Okay, so you're giving us a little insight into what may be next for you after the marathon.
It's a big maybe, big question mark, but I think 26.2, you know what, is plenty. I was telling somebody earlier, if you go 20 miles, what's the point of going? It's not too bad to go another 6 miles. So now I'm at 26 miles or 42 kilometers, 8K, which is a little under 5 miles. If you get, you're going a little bit slower, so you can go longer. It might be possible.
Well, Meb, thanks for doing this. I know your fans definitely appreciate you taking some time to answer their questions, so thanks a lot.